I've been here in Orlando due to illness, and I was officially elected last year in Dallas, Texas. So I want to thank you, the members, for electing me as your official president, at least until 2014 for right now. I'd like to introduce our officers. You know me, I'm Charlotte Javeria. I'm the president of this division. I'm also the vice president of the Greater Long Island chapter. And we also have Maurice Shackelford, for anybody that's from Georgia. He's the first vice president. He's not with us today, but he's with us in spirit. He hasn't passed on. He just couldn't make it this year to convention. And this is being recorded, so hopefully he will hear his name be called. And I wouldn't be a travel agent without him. I'm not going to get all sappy with you, but NFB is an excellent family. When you want to learn something, you have somebody already doing it. My secretary is Miss Margot Downey.
Hi.
From Buffalo, New York.
Hello.
And when I introduce them, I'd like them to stand and give a little information. And Margot also has a little bit of a serious issue going on that I'd like to kind of announce about before we move on with anything else today. So Margot, please.
Yes, I'm Margot Downey. I'm very glad to be secretary of this division, and gosh, so many opportunities here, locally, internationally, just everywhere. Travel is unlimited. So I'm from Buffalo, New York. I have a guide dog named Arrow, and I think I have a fan club in here. Yes. Anyway, my issue and some other people's issues in here is Southwest Airlines.
Oh, wait a minute, I traveled Southwest and I liked them.
I did too, actually.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Would you like to hear our issue, though?
Yes.
Airtime is really good.
A lot of people in the past, say 6 months or so, who use guide dogs have been told that we have to sit in the bulkhead seat. We've been told in different ways this, and I flew on Sunday, as did Julie and Jessica in here. Sunday morning when I flew in, I was told I had to sit in the bulkhead seat. I said no. I said the Air Carrier Access Act says I'm entitled to sit in it if I would like to sit there. And so I got up and moved to the row behind me, and she said, well, the FAA is going to fine me now, and I have to go get my manual and look at it. I said, oh, why don't you read it to all of us, we'd all be interested. And so I sat there, she came back, she said, well, on this trip, since you prefer to sit in this row, you can sit here, but on your return trip, you can't, because we cannot, absolutely, it's the rules that a guide dog, a person with a guide dog, cannot sit in regular seating with the seat next to them with a passenger in it. So I told him I took a bath daily, and but anyway, she said that their policy trumped the ADA and any other laws because the FAA said so. So now what I would like for people to do, and Jessica, the flight attendants lied to Julie and Jessica when they flew later because they said that they had a problem with me and that I had to sit in the bulkhead, which I, as I just reported, did not. So they were storied too. So what I did is I called the Air Carrier Access Act hotline this morning, which if anybody is interested, the number is 1-800-878-4838. What they are suggesting, I told them that I would file a complaint this week. They suggested other people go to their website, which is dot.gov/air consumer. And then there's a link on there how to file a complaint. So I'm going to do that. They're encouraging other people who have had Southwest issues to file complaints on the website as well. For the short term, though, because we have people, as you know, we love Orlando very much, but we want to go home too. So we're going to do that. And so what the Air Carrier People Access Act are going to call Southwest or contact them, tell them what the issue is, tell them what you know, the law says, and then have somebody from headquarters call me. And so we're going to try to straighten this out, at least temporarily, for those flying home from this convention. I'm not promising much, but I'm not promising a guarantee. I'm just promising that the Department of Transportation is working on this with us. This is a short-term issue. But for long-term, I need people who fly Southwest from now on, previously, whatever, have had these issues, and I'm going to talk at the guide dog meeting tomorrow night about this and to file formal complaints upon the website. Thank you very much.
If you're coming in for the meeting, please close the door behind you, and there's some seats. Sporadically.
Yes, it's DOT, that's Department of Transportation, .gov, GOV/air consumer. And if that's a problem, you can call them and they can give it to you. You know, if you lose it again or something, they can give it to you again.
Also, after the convention, if you registered, I will be calling everybody just to see how you enjoyed the meeting or have any questions or want to become a member. If you have a question about that number, I'm going to mention later on, we now have an NFBTravel.org website. I'm also the webmaster, so I do many things within our division as the president as well. So we're the officers, you're the members. We can't be a division without you, so we need to hear from you, and you'll hear me talking more about that later. Milton? I'm sorry, I'm going to introduce our treasurer, Milton Taylor. We're going to have a treasury report later, but I want him to give a little 2 minutes about himself. And actually, Milton has been the treasurer of our division since 2004.
Glad to be here. Glad that you're here because you're what it's all about. I'm Milton Taylor. I've been in the organization since about 71, so I've been around a little while. Certainly, like Cheryl said, I'm treasurer of the Travel and Tourism Division. I'm excited to be a part of that because not only for the travel part, but just as Margaret talked about accessibility, whether it's on the airlines, whether it's on the cruise ship, whatever it is. So, and I'm president of the Seniors Division in the state of Utah. And I have a bunch of other stuff that I do. I don't need to go on because we've got limited time. We've got some important people that we want to hear from.
He's from Illinois. He is not here. He is at the convention. He has some issues with Greyhound. And I also have Amy Barrett, and I'm saying her last name correctly because I want to give her a more regal thing by saying Barone, which is Barrett. And she's from Minnesota, and she's the other board member. And later on, if anybody would like, we do have somebody that wants to run for board member, but unless she's officially nominated, and anybody is allowed to run for that position. So Amy Barone Barrett from Minnesota. And you can beat me up later, okay? In front of everybody.
But I'll be paying tomorrow.
Okay.
No, we're friendly. We love each other in the Federation here.
Yeah.
And last year, I just correct her once in a while when she gets it wrong. I'm Amy Barrett from Minneapolis, and I live in Minneapolis, and I've been in the Federation for almost 20 years, and I am vice president of our NAPE Club in Minnesota, and I do a lot of other things in the NFL. And I love to travel, and I do Amtrak. I
used to work for Amtrak.
I take Amtrak a lot, so
Before we move forward,
I travel a lot.
as you all know or may not know, Dr. Mara wants us to all know the NFB pledge. It's in our hearts, it's in our bloods. Like we all know the Pledge of Allegiance. So I don't know it by heart myself, so I'm gonna take my own advice, and I'm going to read it out and everybody respond or repeat after me. That way we do read the pledge. You don't have to stand up. Before we go any further, I do have a special guest that I met last night at Banton. He wasn't on the schedule to speak, and yet he is actually flying out this afternoon. And it's Mr. Stephen Olson from AZA, which is the accreditation of zoos and aquariums. And the reason why this affects us, as well as Margot was mentioning Nadu, Janelle Powell, they lost his luggage with Greyhound. All this affects us in one way or another, whether you're going on a plane, whether you're going to a zoo or aquarium. You may not have a guide dog. You may come across other issues that are violating your rights, and you need to know what is out there for you to learn from. So I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Olson.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you very much.
My name is Steve Olson. I'm Vice President of Government Affairs for the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. And a lot of people didn't know that there is an association of zoos and aquariums. But I represent 220 accredited zoos and aquariums, both in the U.S. and in Canada and Mexico. Accreditation, just to put things in perspective, there are over 2,800 zoos and aquariums in the United States. I represent less than 5% of those institutions, because these are the only institutions that go through a formal accreditation process every 5 years to get AZA certified. And part of that is obviously animal care and animal welfare, but we also spend a lot of time on conservation, on education, on visitor services, on our governance, and on our staffing. So I just wanted to use this opportunity. I came last night to speak to the National Association of Guide Dog Users. I know there have been issues in the past with visual disability folks trying to get around our institutions. We are working to try to improve that and make it very consistent whenever you go to an AZA, zoo, or aquarium, and I made that promise to Marion last night that we would continue to work with that. My members can be as large and are as large as Disney's Animal Kingdom and SeaWorld and San Diego and Monterey Bay Aquarium and on and on. But there are also some very small institutions that are maybe only 5 acres, but they all have attained AZA accreditation. So I just wanted to take this opportunity. We draw about 200 million visitors a year. We are a destination market for most of our institutions, so if there are issues that come up, please let Cheryl know about those. I'd be happy to help work with you. But again, as you start to think about your travel and tourism plans, we are a destination market, and we are trying to work to get even better. And you'll hear from Mark Jones from Disney about the great work that Disney has done in this area, and this is something that we want to strive for universally with all of our members. So we make that commitment. And again, I just wanted to thank Cheryl for the opportunity just to introduce myself. I'm available to folks. I won't be here. Unfortunately, I have to fly back to Washington, D.C. for meetings tomorrow. But I will be available through Cheryl or Marion if you have any questions or issues that come up. So with that, I can take a couple of quick questions.
Yeah, one or two questions if anybody has any.
Miss Tracy Inman from Florida, who is the owner of Inman Travel.
Do I hear any other nominations from the floor? Do I hear any other nominations from the floor? Do I hear any other nominations from the floor? I ask that the nominations cease and that Tracy Inman be elected as board member due to acclamation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Tracy Inman, you're now board
Hey,
member. Okay, now with that, we're done with our board meeting.
Well, welcome to the family.
Yes, Tracy, you can come and sit up.